Hello, my name is Matt Jennings. I am the editor of Middlebury Magazine, the quarterly alumni magazine here at Middlebury. What I feel like my job is today is to briefly introduce the folks, and I'm going to toss a question or two out there and then just get out of the way. And around 1 o'clock or so, I'd like to then open everything up to questions. I think the panels I've seen and been involved with are more interesting when there's more give and take and less kind of one person talking to the crowd. And I will also like to apologize right now for my 18-month-old son has bestowed on me a cold, so the stuffy nose and I'll probably be coughing throughout, so I apologize for that. I know. I'm sorry. So just again, brief introductions, and they'll certainly tell you more about themselves. Caroline Campion, class of 1995 from Middlebury, is a contributing editor for books at Glamour magazine. Before that, she worked at GQ under the legendary editor Art Cooper and the current editor-in-chief Jim Nelson. She has also written for a number of publications, including the New York Times, Time Out New York, Kids, and Rachel Ray magazine. Leslie Wade, class of 2004-5, is a media planner at MPG. What that means is she has a number of clients, national clients such as McDonald's, Goodyear, and Dunlop Tires, and she helps them strategize on where and how and when to place advertising. Emily Bernstein, class of 2005, is a media associate at New York Presbyterian Hospital. It's a PR job. Primarily, she pitches stories to the media, but also handles media relations at the hospital. And it's also a unique hybrid of the job where it's a working hospital, one of the best in Manhattan, if not the United States, but it's also a teaching hospital, and she can tell you more about that. Suzanne Daly, class of 1996.5, there on the end, is the recruitment director at Mullen Advertising, Boston, I believe. Part of her background, she claims she's been in advertising since she skied down the snowball when she graduated. She's worked in a number of places, including Foot, Cone, and Belding, and before coming to Mullen, where she handles recruitment. Mullen is one of the top 20 to 22nd largest agency in the United States. And finally, we have Paul Lynn, class of 1988, older statesman. He is a producer and reporter for the Wall Street Journal Digital Network. It's a fascinating job if you think about the journalism storytelling, that he's moving into a realm of digital storytelling, new media, a way to get primarily the journal stories into alternative markets through new media. So I will turn things over to them, and the first question I think I'll just toss out to you guys, fight among yourselves on who will answer first and so forth, is tell us what you do.
Well, I handle recruiting for Mullen, and Mullen is an integrated agency, so we do media, we do PR, we do advertising and interactive work. So I review resumes, I handle our internship program, I figure out who's going to be great, I interview everybody, a lot of meet and greet. I used to be on the account service side and made the switch about 3 years ago to human resources. Short.
Yeah. Well, the Wall Street Journal, as many of you know, is a national publication. No longer necessarily focused on the markets and business, although that's what they're known for. But there are many things that are now coming up that are more future related. I think that's partly a way in advertising. At the same time, the online presence has come up pretty big. Yes, newspaper reporters and editors are being called upon to tell their stories digitally and in video. My department helps to convey those stories to a wide audience. Because newspapers and print writing doesn't necessarily always turn into great video. We can talk more about that a little later, but I'm going to pass it.
So I work in PR at New York Presbyterian Hospital, and I think until my senior year at Middlebury, I didn't know what PR was. It's basically unsolicited advertising. So we promote all the great things that the hospital is doing to the media and try to get someone to write about it, because when it comes from a reporter, it's much more credible. So I promote all kinds of things, do research studies, patient stories, all sorts of great things that the hospital is doing, and I also react to when the media needs an expert urgently to comment on a breaking news story.
Wasn't something?
I do that, and also respond to crisis situations with patient status. So I don't know if you all heard, a few months ago there was a steam pipe explosion in Manhattan. Those patients were transferred immediately to our hospital, and I was the first person that all the media called to get the word out to the public, what you should be afraid of, what you should be aware of, what condition the patients are in.
I work for MPG. I'm a media planner, so we deal with paid advertising, and we actually handle the biggest part of an advertising budget, but very few people have heard of what we do. Anytime you see like those rankers where it shows how many millions of dollars a 30-second Super Bowl ad cost, that's coming from the media budget. And so those are decisions that we make. It's basically, we're not making the ad, but we're deciding how and where and when to put that ad out in front of the public. So it's a lot of money we're playing with. There are a lot of options out there. It's splintering even further now as you go onto the web and some alternative media vehicles. So I deal with, like it says here right now, my clients are McDonald's, which we handle on a local level, and then on a national level, Goodyear and Dunlop Tires, which is actually really interesting. It sounds less interesting than that, but it's a pretty cool field. I was a psychology major here, and so there's a lot of insights I think you can take from the liberal arts education and the psychology background and translate that into finding, targeting your consumer in the most efficient and effective way. So, answer questions about that.
Hi, I'm Carolyn. I'm an editor at Glamour magazine. I've been an editor at various magazines for the last 10 years. So a contributing editor, basically, it's one of those really broad titles. It basically means I write for the magazine, so I'll pitch my own stories. Because I'm in-house, I can kind of get a sense of what stories we're looking for. A magazine like Glamour has a huge amount of content, so we have to generate ideas constantly. So if I'm in-house, I could say, I know that the relationship department is looking for a great story, or the beauty department. But I'm also looking for writers to write for me. Some of my writers are ones that I've worked with for years. A lot of them are book authors. So I'll just have relationships with them, and I'll ask them, do you have any essays you want to write, or we need someone to cover this spring break story, do you want to go down and do it? So I have my own writers that I work with, but I'm also trying to find new writers all the time. And then I edit. Sometimes I'll edit, feature stories, smaller stories. The books element of my title is basically pretty much everyone on staff at a masthead has their niche, has their thing, which is something, I think it's important to talk about sort of even now when you're looking about a career. What is going to be your specialty, whether it be musical theater, or you love beauty products, or you're really into techie stuff. So it's really important to have a sort of a real passion and interest. Books happen to be mine, so I cover the book world. So anytime we review books, or we want to profile a great author, or we want to do a Q&A with an author, whether it be Barbara Walters has a memoir, or Diablo Cody just won the Oscar last night. She has a book coming out, so we'll try and do something with her. It's, reviewing and excerpting books as well. It's another element of it. So